All right, one of the things that's been really interesting with StackBit is the ability to manage this component library here from one NPM package. And the use case behind this is, imagine you're developing or managing multiple sites, even hundreds of sites. You can manage those hundreds of sites all from one component library. And that's a big deal because you as a developer can come in and basically make updates to this one component library in an NPM package. And when after that update's made, you can basically send that down so that any of those sites can accept the new updates to it and use the new components or the new edits in those in the components library that you made. So what we're going to do is show you how to actually add in an MVP of a component library using an NPM package. So we've set up this NPM package here called StackBit Typist. It looks kind of cool. It looks like a component out of the box that looks like this, and there's some customizations to it. So you feel free to follow along as we add this to the StackBit component library itself. So you can see in here, we don't have any StackBit Typist yet. Here's all the components. By the end of this, we'll have the StackBit Typist in there. So if you're developing locally, what you'll do is you'll just run npm install StackBit Typist. If you're using the StackBit code editor, you're going to actually add the line directly to the package.json file itself. And that will actually run the npm install command here so that you'll have it in the container that actually runs StackBit itself. So if I open up the package.json, I'm going to go into the dependencies, put a comma underneath tailwind CSS, and I'm just click save. It's going to restart your SSG, so it'll catch that installation, and I'll pause this video until that is back up and running. All right, sweet. So we're back up and running here, and the next thing we're going to do to get the component going up and running is to add this line here to our StackBit YAML file. So we're going to code down here to our StackBit YAML. Not source bit, StackBit. And under the model source, models DIRs, we're going to add in a space, and then make sure here, don't hit tab, hit space. YAML files are, and I didn't need to do that, I could have just copied it in. But YAML files don't accept tabs. You have to make sure you space it. So that's something that's important. So we've added that in, which is exactly what the next step was here. Now we're going to register this component inside of the component registry. So let's come up, I'm going to close this. We'll come into source components and we'll find the component registry. I'm going to come down to the bottom here and we'll add a comma, and then we'll in here, there's a comma at the end of this. Let's make sure we delete it. Great, so now that that's in and imported, we have two more steps. We're going to go into the Tailwind config here, and we're going to add in into this content part. We're going to add in this specifically. So I'm just going to copy this part right here, and we'll go into Tailwind config, which is right here, and I'll open this up so we can see it a little bit better. But you can see here, purge content, and now what we're going to do is we're going to set this up with a comma, and we're going to purge the stuff inside of this inside of node modules here with the StackBit Typist. So I've saved that, and then there's one last thing here, which is adding in the ability to have the animation. It explains it a little bit more here. You can read it if you'd like, but we'll add in this blinking cursor effect, and we'll do that by going into pages under source. So here's source pages app.js, and inside of here we'll add in the import, and at this point we should be all set to use the component. So we'll close this on up, head over back here to our component library, and there it is, Typist. And we're going to go ahead and click add with the default values, and it will show up here, and there it is. Perfect. So we have it here, which is exactly what we wanted. And now in theory, we can come over here and add in any elements. So I had it in a backspace first, but what I should have done is added in for fun, I should have added in a text. So we'll add in the text, and then I'll drag it up above, which will be cool. So you can see it says this is a text, and we'll put it in front, and you can see it kind of move around. And again, you can come in and play with this all you want. So you can say this is a StackBit NPM package, right? And let that save, and then it'll come in and say this is a StackBit NPM package, and you can set this up however you would want. So this is obviously just one component here, but you can imagine setting this up so that there are as many components as you might like, and you can manage one component library across countless sites, which is something that is incredibly useful for so many folks that we speak with. So hopefully this is helpful and can kickstart your development.